guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome. I'm Petra, and today I'm gonna do a video on just my base. So right now I don't have any makeup on at all. You know, you can see blemishes and all this stuff or whatever. So I'm just gonna show you guys kind of what I do for a base. And this is gonna be more for a base for when I'm going out, because my like daytime base isn't really much of anything. I don't usually use a lot, but this is just gonna be more of a full coverage type of base, which for me, I don't even think I put on a super full coverage, but I don't know. I just figured that I would do one of these types of videos so you guys can see how I do it, because most of the time I'm just doing like eye looks and I don't really show you how I do my base. So I thought that I would do a video like this. I get some comments on my Facebook that, you know, you guys always say, oh, you have such perfect skin, Petra, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, let me tell you, it is not perfect. I definitely, I photo edit those, and I also, you know, I cover up blemishes and things like that because I want people to focus more on like the makeup, but I am just like everyone else. I got blemishes, I got spots, I got age spots, I got, you know, my brows aren't put on, you know, all that. So anyways, just wanted to kind of put that in there so you guys know that I don't have perfectly flawless skin. But we're gonna go ahead and do this full coverage tutorial, and I will show you guys how I do mine. So I'm not gonna blab any further, and let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so today I'm gonna use this photo finish by Smashbox. It is called Radiance, and it's like, I guess it has hyaluronic acid. I've been using this little sample. I have a bit more because I don't like the Becca backlight primer that I've been using lately. I feel like it makes my skin look more dry. So this one I've been kind of trying. I haven't really noticed as many issues with it, but I don't know. I don't usually use a primer a whole lot unless I'm going out. So today I'm going to do it just so I can show you guys what I do if I'm doing like full coverage, but I really only put the primer right here, most porous area of my face, which is kind of in my T-zone and by my nose and on my, like the middle of my forehead right here. And I just kind of put that on with my fingers. Like I don't use a beauty blender or anything like that. Okay, so I zoomed you guys in a little bit so you could see a little bit easier. So the foundation that I've been using lately is the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation, and this one is in the shade Sahel. And I'm just gonna put that onto my hand. I'm just gonna squirt like 2 pumps. This is pretty full coverage. I mean, all I have on my hand is like about that much right there. It's just like a couple little drops, and I'm just going to go in with this Real Technique. This is the Expert Face Brush, and I'm just going to tap that off onto the brush, and then I'm just going to start going in and kind of painting that on my face. I really like this foundation because it's really light but a little bit more like pigmented, so I feel like it covers up things. And this line, even though it's not cruelty free anymore, which makes me kind of sad, it's like they were and then they decided they wanted to make more money, so they're not cruelty free anymore. I am just blending that in with this brush, and I use a brush mostly with applying this foundation because sponge soaks it up quite a bit. It's a more liquidy foundation, so sponges tend to soak up the product a little bit more. So that's with one layer on, and I'm gonna go in with just a little bit more on the areas that I have a little bit more blemishes. Like I have this, I think a spider bit me on my face, which I'm like, how did a spider get on my face? But whatever, it did. So I'm gonna go in a little bit there, and then a little bit more on my cheeks here, my forehead, and my chin, where I tend to get a little bit more like freckling and things like that. I just really like how this one kind of sits on the skin. And then I just bring it down a little bit on my neck. I don't know, I always really want it to match so well that I don't bring it down much on my neck. I hate product down on my neck. So yeah, good times. I love this because it just kind of has like a slight little luminosity to it, but it's just, I don't know, it just adds a nice even layer to my face. So then I'm going with a damp beauty blender. That's this right here. And then I'm just gonna kind of pat that in just to kind of really get it into my skin, so my skin looks a little bit more skin-like instead of just kind of having, you know, a foundation straight up on my face painted on. This always makes, I feel like, the texture look a little bit more real. That blemish is still annoying me. I don't know if you guys, yeah, it's right there. You guys can probably kind of see it. That spider, it like hurts, which is what makes me think that it is a spider, because it kind of hurts. So I also like to moisturize my lips a little bit while I'm doing my base, so my lips can get more moisturized before I go in with actual like makeup and stuff. So by the end, they're kind of feeling like a little bit more hydrated, and then lipstick just looks better. So I forgot to tell you that. Okay, so next I am going to do concealer. And you guys know my favorite is the Tarte Maracuja Creaseless Concealer. Look at this, is new. I finally got a new one because I was sick of squeezing out the other one. So this is a new one, and you don't need much of this. So this is very thick and creamy. I feel like it's really good for people who have really dry skin and kind of starting to get more of that crepiness happening underneath their eyes, which I am a little bit. And then it also, this one to me does not set into the fine lines as bad as some other concealers. Like a lot of concealers tend to be too dry, but this one really is nice and moisturizing. Now, so I just go in like this, I kind of tap it together on my fingers a little bit, and then I'll just do a little swipe, not much. I don't like a ton of concealer because the more I put on, the more it tends to look cakey. So I don't have, you know, 20-year-old skin anymore. Okay, so, and then I'll put it kind of on my nose. For my laugh lines, I'll put it on my chin, and then I'll put it down the center of my cupid's bow. And then I will go in with that damp beauty blender and kind of blend it out. And then I kind of try and stay like in the darkest part right here, and then blend upwards towards my under eye. And I don't always set my concealer because my skin is so dry, but I tend to find that setting it doesn't really do much. It just makes my under eye look a little bit drier, which can tend to make the wrinkles look worse. So sometimes I just leave it, and then throughout the day I'll just kind of go like this if it does start to crease a little bit, but usually with me it doesn't crease a whole lot. So I'll just kind of remember to like tap it. If I do feel like I need to set it, like maybe I'm having a little bit more hydrated day, then I'll set it with Mercier, this eye brightening powder. So we'll go ahead and go in with that, although I think this is really almost out. Like I really don't have much left. That's empty. Okay, so that's empty. So the next best one that I go in with that I feel like is the most similar to that is the e.l.f. High Definition Under Eye Powder. This is way cheap. Like, this is a tiny little pot. I mean, if I hold it up to my face, you can see kind of how small this is. But it is really similar to the Laura Mercier ones. It has kind of a brightening effect. The Laura Mercier one has kind of this slight shimmer to it, very slight. It's not glittery, it's just a very slight luminescence to it. And the e.l.f. one isn't quite as much like that. That's why I love the Laura Mercier one so much, but this one will do for now. So we'll go ahead and I'll just go ahead and set it just for, you know, since I do set this sometimes. This is just a Real Techniques contour brush actually, but it fits under my eye well, so I just go and I'll just set my under eye. Okay, and then the next thing I go in with is my eyelids tend to be a little bit discolored a bit. They're like a little bit darker, so I like to prep them for putting makeup on them. So I first go in with my Tarte Clean Slate 360 Degree Creaseless primer. This is the, yeah, it's 12-hour soothing primer. And once again, I really like this because it's moisturizing. And I just go in with like a little dab on each eye, and then I'll just kind of put that on. It just kind of gives it, I don't know, it gives it time to like set and kind of dry. So I'll put that on first to prime my eyelids. And then I will go in with, I like my Naked Skin Urban Decay concealer that I will go in with. I go in with just a little dab to kind of hide any of the discoloration. And I just tend to blend that out with my finger. And then it gives me just a nice clean slate to start my eye makeup. So then the next thing I go into my face with is a powder. I don't always set my face because, once again, skin is so dry that usually my foundation like soaks into my skin, and sometimes it even just completely seems to like disappear into the ether by the end of the day. I don't know what happens to it, but sometimes that's what happens. But I will set it sometimes if I want it to last a little longer. Usually that's it. That's why I just want it to last a little bit longer, so I'll put a powder on. I got sucked into getting this one, even though I'm bummed because it's not cruelty free, and I should have thought about that more. But I sometimes go in with this Laura Mercier. This is the Candle Glow Sheer Perfecting Powder, and this is in the shade 2. So I'll either use that. My Cover FX broke. I sometimes will go in with this one. This is the Cover FX. Comes with a little poof thing that's dirty, and it broke, so that's why it looks like that. I tried to put it back together. I really like this one, but I don't reach for it as much because it did break. That one is in the shade medium. And then I also may go in with, I love this a lot. This is the Hourglass, and this is the Ambient Lighting Powder in Diffused Light, and it's just kind of a very light yellow tone. So I'll go in with one of those. Let's go into the Cover FX one, since I do tend to like that one. So I'm going to take my Morphe E2 brush. This is a great, very affordable brush, and it's really nice and big on the face. So I really like how, you know, it gets around everywhere, and it just feels nice. It's a pretty nice brush. So I'll just kind of lightly set my makeup everywhere, but just lightly. Like, I don't like looking like a dry, cracky face, so I will just, you know, put on a little bit. I should try and hide that blemish a little more. Darn it, and I just put powder on it. Okay, and that's the other thing about Cover FX, they're cruelty-free as well. So Hourglass, Cover FX, both cruelty-free. Laura Mercier is not, in case you want to know. I should do a video on, let me know. I'm going to put a little poll up here. So let me know if you guys would like me to do a video on cruelty-free makeup, because I think I have enough where I could do like a cruelty-free look. So let me know up in the poll that I put right here. Okay, I'm pretty flat looking right now, so I like to go back in with a little bit of color. So I'm going to take this Sonia Kashuk. This is number 19 brush. I actually got this on sale. This is such a pretty brush, but I think I got this for like, I don't know, really cheap. And I like the way it feels in my hand. So it's a nice brush. All right, so I go into this is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder, and this is in Radiant Bronze Light. It is kind of a nice shade for my skin tone, and I'll just go in with that brush. And then I'm just going to kind of blend that up onto the high points of my cheeks and my forehead to kind of add that nice sun-kissed glow. And since we're going into spring and summer, it's all about the glowing again. I really like this brush. It's really soft, and I feel like it kind of diffuses the product really nicely without kind of caking it on and setting down too much product. Kind of go under my chin a little bit. So now I'm looking like, you know, I've got a little bit more of a healthier glow now. So done with that. And then I wonder if I should have contoured first. Oh well, I didn't. So I always go in, for contouring, I go in with none other my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette to contour. And here's what it looks like. It's broken. It's broken because it fell. Because I'm silly and I stack everything right here and it just falls down sometimes. It's all my fault. It's my fault. I shouldn't leave it there. All right, so now I'm gonna go in with just this cheap little Coastal Scents brush, which I love for contouring. It's a number 5 brush. You really don't need to spend a fortune on brushes. I mean, they're nice, they feel nice. I mean, this one's like a cheap plastic candle and it doesn't feel as luxurious. Sometimes I think it's meditative for people to do makeup, so they like having nicer products and things like that. I don't know, I go back and forth. Some days I kind of just want to take my time and use like luxurious products and whatever, but I don't know. Some days I'm just like, just give me the brush and let me put my makeup on. So, all right, so I'm gonna go into these two shades, this shade and this shade right here. Then I'm gonna go into that yellow shade, this middle shade right here. And I'm going to put that just to kind of bring out that cheekbone a little bit more. And I'm just gonna take my big fluffy brush again and then just kind of blend out everything to make it look a little more blended and even, or not so like harsh. I'm gonna fix that blemish a little bit on my face because it's actually kind of itching and hurting. So I'm gonna try and cover that guy up. All right, so the base is now done. I've done as much as the base that I normally do. Like I haven't done blush and highlight, but that usually I coordinate with like the eye makeup or whatever I've done for my look. So I'm just showing you guys like my foundation base routine. So brows, I am going to go ahead and do, and then we will come back. There, so then they look, yes, they just, I swear, having brows makes all the difference in the world. I feel like that's one thing I feel like I can't leave. It's like today I think I left with like mascara and eyebrows done, and it was like, oh, that's just plenty enough to have done. So yes, done there. So then they look, yes, they just, I swear, having brows makes all the difference in the world. I feel like that's one thing I feel like I can't leave. It's like today I think I left with like mascara and eyebrows done, and it was like, oh, that's just plenty enough. Yes, done. Maybe that one's a little thicker, but whatever. Sisters, not twins. I'm not a perfectionist when it comes to my brows. Okay, so I'm just gonna go and throw on a touch of makeup, and then I will show you the finished look with my actual like face on a little bit. So I'm not gonna do much, just something to show you because it's more about the skin and the base. So gonna go throw on a little bit of makeup and I'll be back after that. All right, you guys, I am back and this is what I did. I just went in quickly, very quickly. I didn't even put on any eyeshadow. I just did mascara. So I just used this Le Volume de Chanel in number 10 Noir. It's like a little sample that I have and I really like it. It's just, you know, it's nice if you just really want some full lashes pretty quick. And so I threw that on, and then of course I put on my red. I love this so much. I actually used the shade Cherry from MAC to line my lips. And then I used this beautiful shade by Pat McGrath. The tube looks like this, and the lipstick is this very bright reddish, summery, reddish orange shade. It's beautiful. It is called Obsessed with an exclamation point. So it is just beautiful. I love that. So I thought that was enough. I was like, you know what? This is enough. And and then blush and highlight. I did go in with blush and highlight. So I went in, so I went in with Melba from MAC. It's an oldie but a goodie, and it looks like this. It's like an peachy pink shade. But I don't know, it just looks really pretty on the skin. And then I went in with the Becca Parisian Lights shade that has the fun Eiffel Tower on there. And I just put that on the cheeks a little bit, just to have a little bit of glow there. So that is it. That is it for my base tutorial makeup look. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what other kind of videos you guys would like to see down in the comments below. I always love new suggestions because sometimes I get stuck and it would be really great to do more things that you guys want to see. So thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye.